Hi everyone, this is Lori here with Lori Hooks. Welcome. Thanks for hanging out with me today. So today is a Yarny Catchup. It has been a long time since I've been on here. Nothing particular going on, just haven't been had something that I'm really excited to show you guys until today. So today I'm here. Today I'm excited to see you, and let's get on with the Yarny stuff. So the reason why I was excited to get on here and show you guys was because I finished my knit cardigan. And I'm wearing it right now. And I'm so happy with how it came out. So I did show this sweater in a previous video when I started it. I think I only showed it in one. So I will go back and I will explain it again. So I had made this is Lion Brand Woolies Thick and Quick. I did find a skein of that since then, so here it is. I made a cardigan. I bought 4 or 5 of these on sale a couple years ago from Michael's, and I made a crocheted cardigan out of this yarn. The crocheted cardigan came out enormous. It was supposed to be oversized, but we're talking enormous. Like the arms were like a foot longer than my arms. I was upset about it at the time. I mean, yeah, like it was like a super quick crochet make. I made it in, I think, 2 evenings. It was so fast. But I was so unhappy with how it came out. I was really excited about it, and I was just so unhappy that I just tried it on afterwards, saw how enormous it was, got upset, put it in a bag, put it in the corner. We didn't talk to it for a while, like 2 years a while. So then I'm browsing around on Facebook. Since I've learned how to knit, I am a beginner knitter, and decided that I wanted to make wearables. Like, my main reasons for wanting to learn how to knit is to make knit wearables like socks, sweaters, those kind of things. Because I think in knit it comes out different, lighter in some ways, and a different kind of makeup of how your stitching looks and all that kind of stuff. And that was the reason why I wanted to learn to knit. So I came across this pattern, which is by Ashley Lillis, and it is called the Open Lands Shawl Collar Cardigan, and that's what the pattern looks like. Now she has a YouTube tutorial for this, and from the YouTube tutorial, which I will link in the description box below, you can go to her website and download this PDF for free. You do have to fill in a form to get, where it just asks your name and your email address to get the pattern, but she doesn't spam you with crap afterwards or anything like that. So don't worry about going and downloading the pattern from your website, her website. It's not going to be an issue. But I used her tutorial and the written pattern to make this sweater. And it is my first knit sweater that I've made, and it came out perfectly sized. It's perfect. I understood the instructions. There was no confusion. It was perfect. So I frogged that crocheted cardigan that I made, caked up all that yarn, and I made this sweater from it. Now, I think this is 4 skeins of the larger skeins of Lion Brand Thick and Quick, but I'm not 100% sure because, as I said, I frogged the old sweater and I didn't have any notes from it, so I don't know how much yarn I used in the original one of the crocheted one. And the other thing that I want to mention is, just for those crocheters out there, when you see a knit item like this cardigan, it takes forever to make it. Like, this took me forever. I worked on it pretty much every day for like a month. It takes forever to knit and make something wearable. So for those people who make knit sweaters and that's all you make, wow. And the ones of you that manage to put out 2 or 3 of these a month, oh my goodness, you must knit like a fiend. I cannot believe how much different it takes to make a knit project versus a crochet project. But the outcome is fantastic, and I'm certainly not complaining about the amount of time that it took, because it's part of the process, and for me it's part of the enjoyment of the process. So it's all good, but yeah, knitting is an entirely different world than crocheting is. So I've been very rambly today. So the color of this is called Eggplant. This is the skein. It's Lion Brand Woolies Thick and Quick. It is 80% acrylic, 20% wool. And this cardigan is worked as raglan style from the top down. It has a double layered collar here, which I'm sorry it's so dark in my house, you probably can't see that. But it is a double layered collar that goes from here to here. That's 2 layers. And then you sew it together, not a big deal. Again, it's all in the tutorial how to do it. And you knit the body, add the sleeves on. She shows you how to do all of this, how to do the ribbing, how to do everything. It's a fantastic tutorial. So I will put a picture in here of the full-size cardigan. It hangs just to my upper thigh, kind of the perfect length for a warm wool, like partially wool winter sweater. Her tutorial uses a Lion Brand respun, which is, I think, 100% polyester. It definitely doesn't have wool in it. So don't think just because I used woolies, don't think that you can't use something else for this project, because you definitely can. And as I said, I did not even use the called for yarn. The needle, I've still got my needle sitting here from making the sleeve. So this is the 16-inch circular, and these are 9mm, needles. So yeah, I'm so happy with how the sweater came out, and I think that I'm gonna really enjoy this. But now that it's getting warm outside, it's gonna get put away, but I'm sure in the fall I'm gonna be digging this out, and I'm gonna really, really enjoy wearing it. So that is my knit sweater. So my next, we'll call it a finished object, but it's not a finished object, and I have 2 of them. I am working on Tina's Amma blanket. I've been working on it for over a year now. It keeps getting put aside for other things, but I got 2 more squares done. So these are squares 9 and 10 of 20. So the first one that I made is this one. And in the Amma there are 5 squares, 6 squares, I don't remember which one, but they all have different centers, and then the part around the outside is the same. So this is a Tina square, and this is what it looks like. The yarn that I am using for this is Premier Anti-Pilling Everyday DK. So yeah, 4mm hook. Yes, 4mm hook. So this is the Tina square. The yarn that I'm using for this, as I said, is the Premier Anti-Pilling Everyday DK. And the colors are white. The dark around the outside is not black. It is Raven. Raven is slightly lighter than a black is. It's got like a bit of, it's more like a charcoal. It's got a bit of something when you're looking at the yarn up close. I don't know if it shows on here. Yeah, it kind of does. It's got little tiny things in it that make it not black. Anyways, the other colors, this red color is really red, and the turquoise is bright blue. So that is the Tina square, and the other square that I did is the Lola square. So it's the same colors, except for the yellow is Canary. So I got 2 more of those squares done. That's what the back looks like. And I will link below Tina's channel where she shows the Amma. This, she has tutorials for all these squares, but you really need to buy the pattern because she doesn't, I encourage you to buy the pattern because it's a lot of work she put into this, but also the tutorials don't quite have everything there that you need the pattern as well. So, but yeah, this is the Amma Cows that I've been working on, and I got 2 more squares done, squares 9 and 10. So I'm halfway down the squares. So that is my next finished objects. And the next thing that I have to show are my WIPs. And I have 2 new WIPs that you guys have not seen before. So the first one was, been here around here before. I make a lot of gnomes. And my husband asked me for a hockey gnome. We live just outside of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. So he is a Leaf fan. So I am trying to make him a Leaf hockey gnome. I've made enough gnomes that I don't really need a pattern. So, you know, I'm just going with it and hoping that it works out. So he has a body. Leaf jerseys have a single stripe here and then 2 stripes in their arms. Because he's going to have a beard, I'm not going to put an emblem or anything on here. But that's got a body done. And I started his helmet. And the yarn that I'm using for this is Sheepy's Katona. And this is what a skinny Sheepy's Katona looks like. Let me grab my book and I will tell you what colors these are. Hopefully I can flip right away to the right page since I should have got my book out ahead of time. And unfortunately I didn't write down the color name. So that blue is color number 527. The skin color that I'm going to use is 255, which is shell, and the white is color number 105, which is bridal white. And if you follow hockey at all, Leafs were in the playoffs. They got knocked out last Sunday, I think. So I started this before that, but he actually asked for it a little bit before that, but I didn't have any of the right color blues. So I had to place an order to get some more Sheepy's Katona, which if you're interested, just because I had a few questions about this after my last yarn haul, I had shown and talked about buying from Wool Warehouse, which is in the UK. And as I've already mentioned, I'm in Canada. I placed an order for more Sheepy's Katona. My order that I placed, I also bought some other stuff. My order placed, not exciting, I'm not going to show my order, but just for those who are interested in shipping cost, customs, all that jazz, I bought from Wool Warehouse on a Friday. My order shipped on Monday. My order was, I think, $68 Canadian. They have 2 options when you're shipping from Wool Warehouse. One is to use British Post, which costs $8.50 Canadian for them to ship here. And that is a non-tracking option. The other option was to use DHL, which was $45 for shipping to Canada. I have no idea how long that should take. I wasn't going to pay $45 for shipping. And I refused to use DHL because of customs issues with them in the past. So I chose the British Post option for $8.50, and my package arrived just under 2 weeks. So it was shipped on a Monday. It didn't arrive the Friday after, it arrived the Friday after that. So 1 day under 2 weeks. Well, 1 business day under 2 weeks it took to get here. And there was no customs cost at the door or anything like that. I just Canada Post dropped it off and it was in my mailbox. And to me, that is perfect. I don't mind waiting 2 weeks. Never had an issue receiving the packages from them. I have ordered such a large order that it came in 2 packages and they came on separate days. All good. I got my yarn. I was happy. And I only paid $8.50 for shipping and I didn't pay customs. So Wool Warehouse, I do recommend them. I think their prices are great, and I do recommend them even if you are in US and Canada, because it just all works out. That's all I can tell you. It just all works out. So anyway, so that is Mr. Hockey Gnome. So I need to make finish his helmet. I need to make him a nose, and I need to make him a hockey stick, and then assemble him with a beard, and the next time he will hopefully be done when you see him. Well, excuse me, next video or not, the next time you see him, he will be done. So that is the Hockey Gnome. The other project that I've been working on, and again, it's a new project, is I started this blanket. This is what it looks like, and I'm showing it to you upside down. Let's flip it over. This is what it looks like. And it is almost my wingspan's wide, so just under my wingspan wide. And the pattern that I'm using for this, well, first let's start with the yarn. The yarn that I'm using is Hirschner's Worsted Stripes. And I have 5 skeins of this, as well as I have, like, there's a pack that you can buy that comes with 1 of these and 3 of the solid colors. And I think the 3 solid colors are this one, this darker green, I think the dark purple, and I think I don't remember if the third one is this color or this color. But I'm using the stripes for the body of the blanket, and sorry, the solid colors are put away, so I don't have them with me. But I'm going to use the solid colors for the border. And this is a worsted yarn, and I am using a 6.5 millimeter hook. And the pattern, sorry, my bag's down the side of my chair here, and I'm pulling them out of the bag. So the pattern that I'm using for this is called Lovely Little Blanket, which is a free pattern on Hirschner's website. And it is supposed to be a baby blanket. But I liked the way the body of the blanket looked, so I decided, and it uses the Worsted Stripes baby yarn, which is pretty much the same yarn, just in pastel colors for babies. So decided let's use this pattern, and I like the way the stitching works up, so that's what I'm using. So it is a combination of shell stitches and single crochet rows, and the pattern repeat that I figured out was 10 stitches plus, yeah, it was 10 plus 5. So I chained up 145. That looked to be about the width that I wanted. I actually didn't chain. I did a foundation single crochet row of 145 stitches. Decided that looked like about the right length for me, and got into the blanket. So I'm really enjoying working on this. This is my mindless TV project now that my cardigan's done. And I did start it before the cardigan was finished, because as I said, I finished the cardigan last night and I started this blanket about a week ago. So those are my projects that I've been working on lately. So I think that's all I have to show you. Upcoming, I have another knit project to sort of finish. I have like, I was making socks and knit socks, and I made 1 sock and I still need to make the other sock. So I think I'm going to start the socks this weekend, the other sock. What else do I have upcoming? Crystal over at Bag-A-Day is doing a crochet along where you make a wearable, and I have something that I want to make for that, and I have not started, so I really need to get on that if I'm going to finish by her due date, which I think is June 2nd. That's really soon. So it might not end up being for her make along, but I wanted to do that anyways, so I need to get started on that, and hopefully I can get it done in time for her make along end date. So, because that would be fun. And I think that's about it. Yeah. So life-wise, everything's good. I hope you guys all had a lovely Mother's Day, whether you are and I wish you a happy Mother's Day, regardless of whether you are a mom to a human, to a pet, whether it have fur or not, all those kind of things, or whether you're, a mother to, a mother figure to somebody. You don't necessarily have to give birth. You just need to be a mother figure to somebody for me to wish you a happy Mother's Day, which I think this applies to almost everyone. So, yeah, my Mother's Day was very good. My family, my kids and my husband gave me lovely cards. My daughter picked out some potted plants for me. My son bought me chocolates. And we had a nice steak dinner. Steak, potatoes, salad, fried mushrooms, that kind of stuff. All made at home. My husband made it on the barbecue, and my daughter did the stove cooking. So I was very thankful. My son helped with cleanup. So that was very good. So it was a very good Mother's Day. Oh, and they got me ice cream. Baskin Robbins ice cream. One of my favorites. So yeah, so that was my Mother's Day, and I hope that you guys had a good Mother's Day too. I also saw my mother-in-law, and I had a nice chat with my mom on the phone because I couldn't see her. So yeah, that was my Mother's Day. So I hope that you guys are all doing well. If you'd like to tell me about what you're working on, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. I will link patterns for what I have in the description box. And if you have any questions about anything that I'm working on or anything that you think that maybe I can help you out with, reach out. I'd love to hear from you. And I will see you next time on Lori Hooks. Bye, everyone.